Good evening, everyone. We're in the sunroom at night, so we don't have the nice sunlight coming in as usual. Lighting won't be as good, but I want to go ahead and get this video up because this has been such a crazy week. There's been quite a few things to happen that, you know, orchids grow really slowly and you're like, what, 1 week, what possibly could happen in 1 week? But stuff has happened, so I want to go ahead and talk about that. So I'm going to try to do this video live. I'm not usually very good at that, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is last weekend I ordered some things from First Rays, and I ordered some Kelpmax, which I ordered an 8-ounce bottle and Ray sent me a 32-ounce bottle, so thank you so much, Ray, that was awesome. I also bought some Aircone pots. These are the Rands Aircone pots. I've seen them advertised, I guess you could say, by Orchids Limited. They said they're pretty good pots, and I've heard good things about them. They've got, like the name indicates, they've got this kind of cone that comes up through the middle there and allows air to pass kind of around the roots, but the bottom corners kind of will trap water a little bit, so you get moisture, you get air, all the stuff that orchids love. So I bought 10 3-inch pots and 2 4-inch pots just to kind of see how they were going to do. And so what did I do with the 3-inch pots? Well, let's go over here and look. I repotted all my little Cattleya Rex seedlings into individual pots. Not all of them, some of the really teeny tiny ones, these guys. I just stuck 5 in one pot, and we'll see. Hopefully they'll be all right. This one's kind of hanging over the edge, but I wanted to be able to see the roots, so that's why I potted them on the edge like that. So we're going to see how they do. I like the fact that the pots are clear. I can see what's going on with the roots. I put them in a just Better Grow bark mix, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, so second thing to happen this week is that I was just looking over the multifloral paths that I bought at Windy Hill this summer. If you have a chance to order from them, her name is Maroon. She's awesome, and she has beautiful slipper orchids and a lot of Bulbophyllums as well. But I was looking, and I absolutely could not believe that this plant is in bud, and it might be a first bloom seedling, to be honest. The plant is a Koopowitz, and that is the Philippinense by Sanderianum. So this is going to have very nice long trailing petals, and I don't want to get too excited because it is a first bloom seedling, and it could abort the bud. It might not come out. It might come out wonky or weird, but anyway, this was so completely unexpected that it has just made my whole week. But wait, there's more. Okay, so we talked about my Mormodia Jumbo World last week a little bit, and I got a little bit, I got excited, and I started doing what I do, which is I start pulling off old dead leaves looking for spikes. And so last week, there were a lot of kind of dead leaves like this still on the plant, and I peeled most of them off. And when I did, I found a couple of buds. You can see one down there, and then on the other side, there's one as well. See them? Okay, so here's the huge mistake that I made. By pulling off the leaves that kind of protected those little buds, suddenly they were exposed. And guess what? Little slugs and snails somehow have an amazing ability to smell exposed buds, and the very next day when I came home from work, both this bud and this one had the tops chewed off of them, and there was a slug crawling on it. So the slug was done away with, but the damage is done. So I don't have any idea what's going to happen now. I don't know how much damage has been done. I don't know if the plant will be able to bloom off of these little nubs, or if it's going to have to try to grow new spikes, or if it's just going to, say, screw you, I'm not doing this year. The good thing is this smaller pseudobulb, it has 2 buds on it as well, and they don't seem to have been chewed on. So if worst case scenario, I only get a couple of flowers off this smaller bulb, but at least I get something. Best case scenario, this thing goes ahead and is able to recover from the damage that's been done. So anyway, I have been putting slug pellets around and watching like a hawk for any other potential culprits, but that was really, really, you know, it's upsetting when you wait an entire year for something to bloom and then, you know, it just in one day, some greedy slug, you know, dashes your hopes. So hopefully that won't be the case, and we'll still see some flowers on this. All right, this is Bulbophyllum medusae, and the buds are, what do we call these things? I guess they're spikes. They are starting to swell and kind of take on a what kind of shape? Like a teardrop shape. You can see they're kind of teardroppy looking, and that means they are getting very close to blooming. I've counted 13 spikes on this guy. I don't know if they're all going to bloom at the same time, but I think several of them will. You can just kind of see little spikes everywhere. This is the event of the fall for me as far as flowers go. Yeah, what can I say? I can't say anything. When you see it, you will know. It's awesome. Awesome, guys. All right, I brought Oncidium maculatum over here. This is a species Oncidium, and it produced this new pseudobulb this year, this summer. It started working on it in March, and it completed it just about a month ago. And I don't want to damage the, well, I don't want to damage the plant, but I can't help it. I gotta poke around in here a little bit. Can you see? It has got a spike. It's gonna spike. It's gonna bloom. And it bloomed here. It bloomed last year, and it had very, very nice, fragrant little flowers. They only lasted about 3 or 4 weeks, but the first one opened on New Year's Day. So hopefully, it's going to be doing something similar this year, and I'll be able to show you this in a couple of months. Okay, so the last piece of news for this week is going to be this Zygopetalum Bright Imagination. I mentioned this plant off and on in different updates, and I've said, you know, it hasn't been growing that well for me. It in fact was nothing more than 3 bulbs, and that's it, about a year ago. When I first got it, I don't know if I overwatered it or if I had it outside and it was too hot, and it did not like whatever I was doing, and it responded by dropping all of its leaves, and all of its roots died. So I did this fag and bag method, where you put them in, you put the bulbs in a bag with just sphagnum moss and keep it sealed up so that it's humid, and you put it in a sunny spot, and I sprayed tons of fungicide on it so it wouldn't mold and rot. And it started to grow a little growth around March, I think, March, April or so, and that growth ended up developing into this part of the plant. So this was a little growth that came out of the bulbs. And then a couple months ago, this growth started, right? So you can see this one here. And I cannot freaking believe this, but it has actually got a spike developing inside of this little growth down here. I'm not gonna mess with it too much because I'll probably just break it off, but trust me when I say there is a little spike growing in this part of the plant, and I just cannot, yeah, you can see it down there, look at that. Yeah, you can see it. I can't freaking believe it. I cannot freaking believe it. A year ago, it was 3 bulbs in a bag, and I thought the thing was just gonna die. And now, look, it's gonna bloom. Can you believe that? I can't believe it. I'm impressed. So I'm very much looking forward to sharing this blooming plant with you, because this is truly a kind of a rags to riches success story. And that is all, my friends. I say that's all, but I'm actually a complete liar, because it's not all. I just want to take you on a quick kind of tour of what's in bloom. This little Phalaenopsis is kind of opening up more and more blooms, which is nice. Usually I'm used to those blooming in the spring, so in the fall, super happy about that. Sharry baby, yes, you look nice. You look very nice, and you smell nice too. And then of course, Little Mermaid, she's still going strong. She's got one down and 3 to go, but she still is fragrant and just a little charmer. Just want to hug her, squeeze her little face. And then of course this big show off here. This thing, man, it's too big. I think I'm gonna get rid of it. Does anyone want to buy this? I'm serious, I'll sell it to you. If not, I'm probably just gonna give it to the local botanical garden because I think this is something that people should enjoy, and it's not something that I should have in my home. But that opinion is very, very much subject to change. Okay? All right, guys, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time here on My Green Pets.